vinaigrette, but to call them dressings would be an understatement. Nope, these are sauces. Salad sauces. The Asian sensation salad. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Get your ticket for the St. Jude Dream Home now before they sell out.
This is a beautiful time of year, lots of celebrations in the weeks to come. First around the corner, of course, is Easter. So if you have big plans for your Easter weekend, we're going to help you kick it up a bit because this morning we are at Scenic City Wine talking with Matt Olson, who is the very proud owner here. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Thanks for coming down.
So if people are thinking, okay, I've got a wine store down the street, hear what I told you. This is not a liquor store.
No.
This is a wine store.
That's correct.
You have quite the wine background.
I do. I've been doing this since '05, let's call it. I've worked pretty much every conceivable job in the wine business through import, distribution, retail, restaurants. Yeah. The only thing I didn't do was crush grapes, and that's fine. But as far as working through the wine industry, I've done a lot of different things, worn a lot of different hats, and it all led up to this store. I mean, this is the culmination of, call it 18 years of expertise and experience. You
and I have been talking. You're going to let me sample some here in a second.
In fact.
But we've been talking as he pops the top on this. This is what, by the way?
This is Louis de Grenelle Saumur Rosé. So it is a Brut Rosé from the Loire Valley in France.
Okay.
It is Cabernet Franc, which is a sadly underrated grape varietal. It is made in the same method as Champagne, but Champagne can only be called Champagne if it is from the village of Champagne, and this is not. This is from the village of Saumur. This is one of my personal favorites. This producer's been making wine in this place since the 1850s.
Oh, you hear it? Now you know good things are coming. So this is what Matt and I have been talking about, because when you come in, the store, it kind of has a boutique feel. Yet there are 500 plus.
Yeah, just right at 500 wines. I mean, we've only
wine.
got 800 square feet, but we did manage to jam 500 wines in here. And I'm very proud of the fact that over 200 of them are under $20 retail.
So what I want to pause on for a second is the fact that he and I have been discussing, cheers, the experience of wine drinking. One of those experiences is color. Look at the beauty of that. That is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Then you've got the aroma, which is lovely and light. Now this, I was talking about Easter. Is this something that you can use to go with your meal, Matt? Or
Absolutely. I mean, sparkling wine is obviously made for celebration. It's synonymous.
Lovely.
It is lovely, isn't it? It's synonymous with celebration,
lovely.
But it's also really versatile as a food pairing wine. I think people don't really have a sense of how well so many different dishes pair with sparkling wine. I mean, if you think about it, if you go to a nice restaurant, what do they ask you? Do you want still or sparkling water? Why do you get sparkling water? Because the effervescence cleans your palate. It's refreshing. It makes you want to take another bite of food. A wine like this, relatively low in alcohol, effervescent but not too effervescent, has a nice savory backbone on top of this, underneath this really lovely core of red fruit. This is going to pair with a lot of really good dishes on the Easter table.
I'm struggling, I have to tell you, because there are so many things I want to have time to talk to you about. So one of them I want to focus, though, on just this one wine. I mean, look at all that he's put on the table just to kind of let you see something represented from so many countries, including the US of A right here.
Absolutely, yeah.
But back to this one, some people feel like wine has an aftertaste, or that it's heavy or too oaky. I mean, I get it, this is a sparkling, but this is light.
Yeah, but it's light in body and weight. It's not sweet either, but it is intense. And this is something that light, a lot of times people say light and they mean it as a bad thing. I don't think you do, but
no.
But wines can be very lithe, they can be very powerful while also being very compact. I think most people, when they start drinking wine, gravitate towards the boldest, loudest expressions of wine because those are the ones that kind of grab their taste buds and won't let go.
Okay, yeah.
And then the more wine that you drink, the more you begin to prize subtlety and finesse and nuance, which is harder to come by in these really kind of big, huge wines. And so you can have wines like this, which are really quite delicate, but manage to pack a lot of intensity into a very delicate package. And there's nothing wrong with big wines at all, as long as they're balanced.
But one of the things you had told me off camera, and perhaps this speaks to the point you just made, that you wanted to stress, is that almost all, if not all, of the wines that you carry are made by individual
by people.
families.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, corporate wine is made in a boardroom, right? It's two guys in a combine harvester pulling in 1,000 acres worth of grapes, and it's crushed by robots, and there's just no soul there, right? I mean, all of these vineyards are worked by hand. All of these wines are harvested by hand. All of these wines are made by hand.
So you're buying the real deal.
Correct.
Okay, I want to go back to something else because I want to make sure I have time to fit everything in if I possibly can. So Matt was saying that wine is an experiential drink.
Yeah, it's an aesthetic experience because if you just want to drink, you can go and get a handle of vodka or a suitcase of beer. Like, that's fine, and once you gravitate towards wine, it's because you're looking for the aesthetic experience. You want to have that beautiful salmon pink color in the glass. You want to have that bouquet of cherries and raspberries, just to talk about this wine, coming out of it. You want to have that savory finish on the wine, because you're looking for something that's greater than just the alcohol.
Right.
Right.
So I want to talk for just a second about your story. Because like so many people, COVID changed his world, and his in-laws are here in Chattanooga, his wife is from here. So y'all made the decision to leave Atlanta.
Correct.
Come here, and you had this vision for the store to really offer everybody, whether your budget is $20 or $60.
I mean, the least expensive wine in the store is $9.99. The most expensive wine in the store is $375. And like I said, most of the wines are under $20. You don't really need to spend more than that to get a quality bottle of wine. I mean, I just want to emphasize that all of these wines are made by people and are made by hand. And while there certainly are fantastic wines in excess of that $20 price point, I want to sell the steak, not the sizzle, right? I want to sell wines of substance, wines of character, and I'm very proud of the fact that I represent these family and independently owned producers who wouldn't have anybody to champion what they're doing. It's really been my whole career, whether it was on the import side or the distribution side, even going way back when to buying for restaurants. I just always wanted to focus on that. And, I want the consumer to focus on it as well, because you have plenty of people out there who will buy organic produce and buy non-GMO cosmetics and buy grass-fed beef, and then they go and they buy kind of mass-produced corporate plonk. And that's not what.
But perhaps they do that because they don't yet know that you're here.
Well, that's correct.
And you just opened. So we purposely chose today to not focus so much on these individual wines, which is typically what we would do in a conversation like this, and more to give you a chance to get to know Matt, hear the story, come in if they're not going to know what to ask for. If they say, what's the sparkling wine you
that we had on the television, then I'll point them towards it.
You can tell them what to get. Check out his website, but more importantly, just make the drive over to St. Elmo. They actually have a parking lot. Isn't that a wonderful thing?
We do, in fact, have parking spaces.
And are you open just through Saturday, Monday through Saturday?
We are Tuesday through Sunday, actually. So we are closed on Mondays. We're open until from noon to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and then we're open noon to 6 on Sundays.
All right. Is it impolite for me to cheers you yet again?
Not at all. No.
Thank you.
Not even slightly.
Such a pleasure. Scenic City Wine, there's the address and phone number. He does have a website, so once you find your favorite wine here at Scenic City Wine, you can go online, place your order, and then just come here and pick it up.
That's exactly right.
Register your child to escape to nature this summer. Reflection Writing's Outdoor Summer Day Camp is the best in Chattanooga for ages 5 through 14. Immersive, educational fun to keep your camper happy and active. Scan the QR code now to sign up.
Hi, I'm Paul Barris, and I'm inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me August 31st to September 10th in Montreal, Quebec City, and the Canadian Maritimes. Experience picturesque small towns and beaches, as well as the historic cities along the Atlantic coast, as we use roads and rails on this Canadian adventure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword local3 for more information and to watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
People ask us all the time, are those